Welcome to the SMC4 Observer call today for law enforcement. My name is Michelle Cassidy and I'm the Worldwide Product and Marketing Manager for our social media solution, SMC4 at Integrity. If you've got any questions you'd like to email me after today's call, you can email me at michelle_cassidy@integrity.com, and you can also tweet me or tweet us at integrity.com. So what I'm going to cover in the next 20-30 minutes is a very short introduction as to who Integrity are, as you may not all be that familiar. I'm going to just give you a little bit of history, our story in the social media space, and how we have ended up with an observation tool that's now aiding police agencies and schools worldwide, and how we can show you. I'm going to show you a demonstration of our solution, Observer, how it could be used by police agencies. So I recognise some of you may have not attended the events that we were holding in the US in the last few weeks in Boston, New York, Washington. And some of you have just signed up for SMC4 Observer and just want to get a bit of a refresh. So hopefully we'll cover everyone's agenda today. So a quick introduction as to who are Integrity. And very simply, we have been working with customers across all different industries to help them capture all different types of content. So anything from documents, digitized content, email, video, audio, and now social media. We are experts at really helping our clients consolidate all of that content, because we know it's in lots of different places, it's got lots of duplication, and what you really need is to drive efficiencies, reduce the amount of cost and effort to manage it, but really start using it to communicate, whether it's externally with your customers or citizens, your community, or internally in collaborating with it, while ensuring that you adhere to all the compliance and governance rules and regulations that you need to. And now with social media, which we have a huge demand for customers across industry to manage, we have a service in the cloud that enables them to very quickly have social media monitoring in place. And of course that then means with limited resources and budgets available, particularly in local government and law enforcement, that's a really nice and easy solution to deploy. So just to give you a sense of, again, our pedigree and the industries we've worked in, we've worked in financial services considerably, and we've worked in the bottom half, you'll see we've worked with a number of government agencies and police agencies. So where's our involvement begun regarding cyberbullying? We can take a few steps back, actually. We had a social media solution, still do, that we brought to market about 2 years ago, and it's helping corporations manage social media. So help them monitoring it for compliance and regulation, for brand and reputation management, and helping them really improve customer service and customer experience on social media. This year we took a trip to visit, last quarter we took a trip to visit one of our customers in Florida, and we were going through our social media solution, and this very sad story unfortunately was discussed at the table, and we were looking to broaden our solution into the education sector. And this very sad story about a girl called Rebecca Sedgwick was discussed, and how actually there wasn't monitoring in place at her school of social media, and when she was removed from school, the bullying, cyberbullying continued, and so much so it did result in her taking her own life. There are a number of stories, unfortunately, just like Rebecca's, that we read and hear about often on the news. But what we have at Integrity, and that's something our CEO is very passionate about, is the opportunity to protect our young people and our community and our citizens far more effectively, and to be far more proactive. So these are a number of cases that, having worked with the police agencies and schools that we've done in the last 2 quarters now, come to our attention. There unfortunately are many, many more. But what it's shown us is that actually there is a real need for this kind of application. So our project began, and we've been working with 2 counties in Florida, and we have started now to work with a number of schools in Florida to protect our students, to protect our schools and young people. Where do police agencies come in? So we've been working with police agencies to really help them reach the wider community, helping them with witness appeals, helping them manage crises, incident responses, PR, campaigns, emergency planning, and that's been with our core SMC4 solution for social media monitoring. What's changed, what we're now able to offer police agencies, is the ability to really improve their crime prevention. So we have observation tools now as part of our SMC4 Observer solution that enable us to help you. I hope anyone doesn't mind, but could you please go on mute? There's just a little bit of feedback, I think, from someone on the call. So, an introduction to our solution, just very quickly. It's an observation tool, so it helps you to essentially monitor specific people, whether it's in your community, persons of interest, and to analyze the content of their messages. We enable you to see, of all those messages that are being analysed, which are the risk messages that you really need to act on. It's a single sign-in tool, so for the people in your organisation, the departments and teams need to access it. Every action that they carry out in the tool is completely audited. They have their own unique username and password. All the controls are in place, all the supervision controls are in place. That's really important from your perspective to know that not just anyone can go in and access this information, which often is highly confidential and part of an investigation. It's fully auditable, so you can use the intelligence and the originating messages as part of your chain of custody process. And we can ensure that we put rules in place so that you can preserve that piece of evidence for as long as you need to, and it won't be tampered with. For the Observer solution, there's 4 areas that we are specialised at helping our customers do regarding social media, in working with anything that needs approval and responding to social media. So that's more on the engagement side. And helping you to observe that social content and finding what is the meaning of it, what is the risk of this message, and what am I going to do with it, and how is that going to help me with my investigation. So I'll show you that when I show you the demonstration. Essentially how our Observer solution works, if we kind of work clockwise at sort of 10 o'clock, our social media messages of the people that we're monitoring come into SMC4 here in the middle. And SMC4 Observer does a number of things. So it does a lookup to the many different categories and dictionaries that we have. So we have, for example, crime and terrorism categories and dictionaries you'll be specifically interested in, as well as a number of others. We have 17 in total, and some of those include bullying and profanities and racism. And we know it's not just individuals that you're looking to protect that come to you and have had social media abuse, but actually as part of your criminal investigations, we know that you are very keen to monitor individuals or groups of interest. So you're able to do that. And when we analyse the content of these messages, we apply risk rating, and then we provide you with access to those messages. This is not a snooping tool to see everyone's messages that are being posted on Facebook and Twitter, but actually really focusing and honing in on the risk messages. All of those messages then are stored in our secure archive, and you have the ability to execute any workflows that you may want to. So you might want to share these instantly with certain people in certain teams in your organisation, and you might want to alert individuals as well. Just to give you a sense that it's a bit more than smoke and mirrors, so we, in terms of our dictionaries, You know, we have specific ones such as crime, and here this is just a screenshot of our crime dictionary and all of the different keywords and phrases. Again, we have one for predator and profanity and so on, and I'll show you some of these. So let me show you SMC4 Observer. So bear in mind where we've originally started working with in the education sector. A couple of the naming conventions in the solution still are related to that, but I will try my best to articulate your equivalent. So when you log in to SMC4 Observer, you see, first of all, the risk dashboard. And this gives you very quick insight into all of the social media messages that you have been analysing in the last week, so 734. And out of all of those messages, it shows that 182 are risk messages. And here you can see, as I just scroll my mouse down, these are all the different categories that we support. So we have 17 out of the box, and you can read those. So self-harm, suicide, predator, etc. And for every category, we have a risk level, high, medium, and low. So we can monitor individuals, and then as we monitor the content of that message, that social media message, we will categorize into one of these 17 categories, or if it doesn't actually fall into any one of those, we will just close that message, and we will then apply a risk rating to that message. So let me show you what that looks like when we drill down to the next level. So if we look at crime as a particular category, you can see here that there are 11 high crime risk messages that have been received. If we click that, you can see here that the content here and the highlighted keyword or phrase has been categorized. So that has categorized the message, that dictated the category the message fell into. And this is a little pill, we call it. When this is read, it also shows this is a high-risk message, so you can very quickly and visually see that. You can see when that was posted, so 3 hours ago, today, and you can see who posted it. So this is their Twitter handle. You can see it's the Twitter account, and that's their handle. Now, I recognise it says student here, but for these agencies that are on the call today, you know, that would very easily be a person of interest or a citizen. If we go back to our dashboard, I'll give you a couple more examples. We also capture predator messages. So if we look at, say, the medium risk predator messages, here we can drill in and we can see actually who has received that message and who has posted that. So someone on Twitter called Doug C has sent someone that we are either protecting, monitoring this message. And again, if you highlight it, it will show you that was the keyword or the key phrase that categorized that message. You can forward that on to someone else in the team if you wanted to via email. You can just click forward. If there was conversation history, it would show that in chronological order down here. And you can just type in the person's email address and subject and send that to them. Another example I'll just show, last one I'll show will be, we set the drugs category and the low risk messages under drugs category. Again, you'll see, probably getting the hang of this now, you can see the content, you can see the person that's posted that, and that's their Twitter handle name, okay? And you can see that for all the different people here that have posted low risk drug messages. So SMC4 Observer, we haven't talked much about our relationship with IBM, but it runs on IBM's content analytics engine. It's our application and it's in our cloud, but the application itself runs on IBM's content analytics engine, and that's a natural language processing engine. So it's extremely powerful, and we are constantly working on the refinement of sentiment analysis so that we gain more meaningful results on the content of the social media message. So what I'll show now is just how we can quickly find messages. I click here on the message inbox. This is just like you think of your email inbox. I'll just clear these filters. This is our social media message inbox. So we have a lot of social media messages in here, but we want to really quickly find messages relating to a certain individual and maybe even some specific categories. So here on the right-hand side, you can filter messages by social network, by, it says student, but it could be citizen, it could be person of interest, by the risk level or by the category, and by date range. So that could help if you had an inquiry, if you had a tip-off, if you're using this tool as part of an investigation to very quickly just find any relevant social media messages. So we're just going to select an individual here. We'll pick Dean Summerfield. This is someone that we've been monitoring, and we are going to monitor or have a look for any related messages that contain reference to drugs. And so we can see here that this is the individual, this is their handle on Twitter, and these are the messages that they've been posting. You can see down the page, this is all relevant to what they've been posting on Twitter. So they've mentioned they've got some drugs, they've then mentioned they've got some other types, and now they're actually looking to possibly share that with other individuals. And again, you can view this message on isolation, on its own single page. You can assign this to someone else to work on within your organisation. You could forward it in an email, and that's probably what you do to use as part of your chain of custody process. And you may share this with the criminal investigation team that are working in that particular case. So one of the last things that I wanted to show was how do you set this up? How do you kind of get it running? So for those of you that have signed up to SMC4 Observer online, and for those of you that haven't, I'll give you the link later. If the two little cog icon is here, you just click that, and here's where you really administer the system, so you can manage users, and that's really, we've set it up so it's managing students, but for police agencies, you'll probably want to monitor citizens that might have actually had social media abuse, and they're giving you their social media accounts so that you can monitor who's contacting them. You can gain their handle names, their Facebook names, and you can then add them as a person of interest, which I'll show in a moment. You can add new accounts. So let me just show you an example of what I was talking about. First thing you need to do is set up an authenticated account. So you need to add your Facebook, your Twitter authenticated account, and then you can add a new person of interest, and they will be associated with that authenticated account. You can't do it any other way. So let's try and find a person of interest on Twitter. So it's another type, the authenticated account. And we're just going to type in the name of our CEO. And when you click search, then it will go off and find all of the people with that name on Twitter. So we can click and verify that that is the person that we're monitoring. We can click into their account. See, okay, this is the founder of Integrity. They have so many followers, etc. And you can click on all the accounts, and often there are multiple search results that come up. And very simply, you can select that user and click Create Account. And now we're going to start following that individual. What we can also do is apply global action rules, we call them. So the rules that we have set up here, just so you understand, if a social media message comes in and it's not categorized against any of those 17 categories, then we will just close that message. Now you can add more categories. You can add new keywords and phrases to a new dictionary. We're absolutely open to that. And you can either very simply contact our support desk, or you can click up here and click keyword and suggest some keywords. For any low-risk messages, we set a risk level. For any medium risk messages, again, we do the same. For medium risk messages, we assign it to a supervisor. So that's a specific person, an individual in your agency that you want to be alerted to that particular message. And for high-risk messages that fall into any of those categories I showed you, we've set up 3 main rules to set the risk level, to assign it to a specific person in the agency, and to send them an email notification. I suppose you need to be aware that you don't want to be bombarded by email notifications, although they are great. It's great to be alerted in real time. You can also switch them off, and you can just log into the system on a regular basis. It really depends on the sensitivity of what you're working on. If we just go then back to the dashboard, one or two other little bits I wanted to show. We have here a senders and recipients dashboard. So the senders dashboard shows the top 10 people that you are monitoring who have sent high risk, medium risk or low risk social media messages. And the recipients dashboard shows you the top 10 people, again, that you're monitoring who have received social media risk messages. We do also collate here at the bottom a demographic dashboard of key information that's completely customizable. If there's anything there you wanted to add, we're more than able to do that. So that's an overview of SMC4 Observer. So I hope that's helpful. I'm just going to now just go back to the slides and talk about a couple of places and resources that you should go to. So if you would like to trial SMC4 Observer, you just need to go here to this URL, smcapture.com/observer.php, and you can very easily sign up, add your name, all of the key details, and then you'll have access to the tool. So I'll just show you, I think I've got the page open here. There you go, so that's what the page takes you to. You click this big green button and it takes you to the login page. So it's very simple. And you'll get an email notification to verify your account. Okay, so just look out for that. That could go into your spam box. In terms of more information, there's lots of links here. We're going to post this presentation online as well after this session. It'll probably be available on Tuesday now. So you can see lots more information about our solution, our SMC4 monitoring and engagement solution, and you can also find information about our Observer solution I've showed you today. If you wanted to take a look at our monitoring and engagement solution, then there's a link here, SMC4 Lite Trial. You can log on same way and trial that. There's lots of documentation online, there's some demonstrations, references, and some key articles that might be of interest to you. You're very welcome to contact me directly after this call. And if you use social media, then you're very welcome again to tweet us or send us a message on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. So I'm just going to open up to any questions people may have. If you've got any questions, then please use the chat box at the bottom of your GoToMeeting. You should see it here. I've not received any yet, but if you think of anything after this call, again, just email us or tweet us, and we're more than happy to reply. If you want to reply privately, that's also fine. We can keep that conversation confidential. So I've just had one question come through. So there's a number of ways. The question is, how do we get started? How do we import profiles? So if I just go back to the SMC4 Observer screen, if we go to here where it says administration, these two little cogs here, this icon, 2 cogs, there's 2 ways to add new users. You can click add new user. So that's someone that's providing you with their social media details. So we would create a new, it's a student, but just consider it a citizen, and we would fill in their information, and then that would send them an email, a particular individual, an email to go to a portal and to authenticate their Facebook and their Twitter account. So they might give you that information. But if you want to add people en masse, maybe you've got, more than 10, you're talking a few hundred or a few thousand, then you can click here, do a mass import, and we're just about to load up actually the template that you need to use. And once you've filled it in very simply, you then just select the file and upload it, and it will bulk upload all of the people that you wish to monitor. So in the case of a school situation, yeah, you would probably use this bulk import students option, and here you would fill in the CSV file with all of their information, and that would be something the administrator would do, and then it would bulk import all of those students in there, and then they would all be sent an email notification. So you will have put down whether it's a school email address or another email address. They'll all be sent an email notification. They will all then be directed to a student portal, and it's there that they will add and authenticate their social media accounts of Facebook and Twitter. And that's it. That's their only input then. There's T's and C's. It explains everything that is done with the data and how it's handled and where it's stored. And then really, as a school, you would just wait, and SMC4 Observer will monitor those messages, and it will just automatically highlight to you any risk messages that come through. So I hope that answers your question. Nathan, if you've got anything else, then please feel free to email me. I've not had any others, but I'd just like to thank you all for attending today. I wish you a wonderful weekend, and if there's any questions, once again, do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.